plantation, businesses is the heart of the IOI company with 230,000 hectares planted area in all over Malaysia, Indonesia and is still growing.
IOI has grown into a global enterprise with operation in 8 countries, exporting to more than 85 countries worldwide.
Their hands-on management and commitment to productivity has led their company being recognized as one of the industry's most cost-efficient palm oil producers. They are one of the largest plantation companies in Malaysia. From plantation to downstream manufacturing, their refineries in Malaysia play an important role in the midstream segment of their supply chain. In the downstream manufacturing segment, IOI are one of the world's largest oleochemical sand palm based on the fatty acid producers to production facilities in Malaysia and also in Germany. Rising through the ranks from his humble beginning, Tan Sri Lee Sin Cheng has demonstrated tenacity, leadership, strategic visions, and also entrepreneurial skill that built the IOI Group become one of the largest plantation company in the world today. Tan Sri Lee have received numerous accolades. One of it is he was awarded as the Malaysian Palm Oil Association's Recognition Award in 2011 for his outstanding performance in the plantation industry. By referring this figure here, it shows a comparative analysis and also the performance between FTSE FBM PLCI and also IOI Corporation from May 2018 until May 2019. The colored line represents FTSE FBM KLCI, while the black colored line represents IOI Corporation Berhad price. This comparison is done by determining whether IOI Corporation Berhad is outperforming, underperforming, or at the same level as the FTSE FBM KLCI. As we can see here, in the middle of May, IOI Group is outperforming, but starting from July 2018 until the middle of September, IOI shows a underperforming analysis because it's lower than the FTSE FBM KLCI line, and this conclude that the IOI outperform compared to FTSE FBM KLCI.
I'll be explaining about the financial structure of IOI Group. So we start first with debt structure. This chart indicates the non-current and current liabilities for IOI Group. Highest non-current liabilities is at year 2017, and it is due to the number of borrowings. Next is equity. This figure for the year 2014, the retaining is 5,906 million. Indicates that IOI Group managed to fund an expansion or paying dividend to shareholders at a later date. Next is asset structure. Into year 2015, the current assets are starting to drop from 7,000 million to 5,000 million. As for the revenue, this bar indicates the uptrend and downtrend of IOI Group. For the first 3 years, the revenues are maintained. Into year 2017, IOI's revenue goes crazy. It's due to the manufacturing segment that contributed for about 6,000 million. And as for the operating expenses, this bar chart indicates that IOI Group have to spend more money, and it is because of their fair value loss on derivative and financial instruments. This figure, it shows that the net income in year 2015, they earned the worst net income, which is RM179 million. In year 2016, the net income started to recover and increased a little due to the continuation to complete the planting of remaining 9,000 hectares in Indonesia.
So, I will be explaining about their finance cost. As for their finance costs, they cannot run out from paying interest on borrowing, as they need to borrow some money to raise finance for their businesses. From 2014 to 2015, they paid almost the same amount for interest and other costs that an entity incurs in the connection with the borrowing fund. In 2016, their finance cost of IOI Group dropped almost 70 million ringgit. It is because they focus on paying their debt or interest that they are liable to. As for the last year, they decreased their cost to 200 million ringgit. Next is dividend contribution. The director declared a second interim single tax dividend of 45% or 4.5 cents per ordinary share, amounting to RM284.5 million in respect of the financial year ended on 30 June 2015. The dividend is payable on 18 December 2015 to shareholders whose name is appear on the record of the depository and register of member of the company at the close of business on 10 December 2015. As for the year 2016, the director declared a second interim single tax dividend of 45% or 4.5 cents per ordinary share, amounting to RM283 million in respect of the financial year that ended on 30 June 2016. The dividend is payable on 23 September 2016 to the shareholder whose name is appear on the record of the depository and register of the member of the company that is closed of business on 9 September 2016. As for the 2018, the director declared a second interim single tax dividend of 45% per ordinary share, amounting to RM282.8 million in respect of the financial year ended on 30 June 2018. The dividend is payable on 21 September 2018 to the shareholder whose name is appear on the record of depository and register members of the company that are close of business on 6 September 2018.
Next, we have OBV, which is on balance volume. What it does is it measures the buying and selling pressure as a cumulative indicator. So it adds up volume on up days and it subtracts volume on down days. So for the buying signal, OBV rises when the volume on up days outpaces the volume on down days. So when the volume increases, the price will increase also. So for the selling signal, it is the vice versa of that. So for this company, from May 2018 until May 2019, the buying signal occurs during the early of July and September 2018, end of October and December 2018, and the beginning of January 2019. For the selling signal, it occurs during the end of May 2018, beginning August 2018, middle September 2018, early November 2018, end of January 2019, beginning of February 2019, and at the end of May 2019. So now we are moving on to trend analysis. A trend line is basically a straight line drawn on a chart to show the trend of a market movement. So basically prices does not move in a straight line, but then highs and lows do. There are three types of trends, which is uptrend, downtrend, and sideways. So for the major trend, which is the primary trend, it is the overriding trend affects the movements in stock prices, and it usually lasts for more than 1 year. So for this company, the trend shows a bearish movement starting from end of May 2018 until early January 2018. Now we are moving on to the secondary trend. Secondary trend, it moves the opposite direction of the primary trend. This one, it usually lasts for 3 weeks to 3 months. So this company, the trend lasted for 1 month from early February 2019 until the end of February 2019. Lastly, we are going on to minor trend. So minor trend is the corrective move of those moves that goes against the direction of the secondary trend. This usually lasts for 3 weeks or 1 month or below. So For this company, it can be found during the month of July 2018. So now we are moving on to pattern. Patterns are basically a series of trend lines. Basically, it is used to examine the current movements or to predict the future market movements. If the price signals a change, it is called a reversal. But if it is moving in the same direction, then it is called a continuation pattern. So for this company, there is a bearish pennant. Bearish pennants are a continuation patterns, and it occurs from 1 to 4 weeks, and then it can be bearish or bullish. So for this company, it is a bearish pennant. So this pennant occurs during the middle of March. Next, we can see that they have a double bottom reversal, which occurs during the end of July to early October. And then we have a breakaway gap. So breakaway gaps occurs in the beginning of a market move and usually after the consolidation pattern. So breakaway gaps, they do not fill up like common gaps. And for this company, it occurs during early November.
So next, I will be explaining about technical overlay. Technical overlay is a line indicator that I use in assuming signal neither to buy or sell the stock, or to enter or exit the market, or bearish or bullish position by looking at the price, flow, trend, volatility, and momentum. This indicator helps traders to make accurate decisions at the right time, measure the actual price movement, and confirm the quality of chart pattern. The first technical overlay is simple moving average 30 days. A short-term SMA is used by traders to indicate if they should buy or sell. It is usually plotted on the chart by looking at the price movement to confirm the trend. When the price crosses over SMA line, it indicates to buy signal. When the price crosses below the SMA line, it indicates to selling signal. Based on figure 1.11.1, the first signal is a sell signal in the middle of June 2018, which shows the closing price moving below the SMA line. The next signal is also a sell signal in the middle of November 2018, which the closing price is moving below the SMA line. Next is the price moving above the SMA line, which indicates buying signal at the end of December 2018. The last signal is early in March 2019, which indicates sell signal because the closing price is moving below the SMA line. Next is simple moving average 100 days. The function of long-term SMA is used to measure the signal of the beginning of uptrend and downtrend. Compared to short SMA, long-term SMA is used to predict whether the direction of the market is bearish or bullish. Based on figure 1.11.2, in the early of May 2018, the long-term SMA gives the signal the beginning of uptrend. The uptrend of long-term SMA lasts till in early June 2018, which can be assumed as a bullish position for the stock. The traders should enter the market at this time until the stock market started to reverse. While in late June 2018, the long-term SMA gives signal of the beginning of downtrend until the end of December 2018. It indicates that the stock is in a downtrend, which is a bearish position. The existing investor should sell their stock while the price is still higher, while the potential investor should not enter the market until the trend begins to move upwards to earn profit. After that, the long-term SMA gives the signal of the beginning of sideways from January 2019 to early May 2019. The investor should hold their decision to buy because it is in a sideways trend, and for the potential investor should not enter the market until the trend begins to move upward to earn profit. Last but not least, it is the simple moving average 30 days and 100 days. 30 days period is a short-term SMA, while 100 days is a long-term SMA. It is indicated by movement of short-term and long-term of SMA. When the short-term SMA cross over the long-term SMA, it is indicated as a bullish trend and known as a golden crossover. If the short-term SMA cross below the long-term SMA, it indicates as a bearish condition and known as a dead cross. Based on figure 1.11.3, there are two crossovers that happen between short-term and long-term SMA, which happens in early June 2018 and in the middle of January 2019. The first crossover that happened in the early June 2018 indicates as a dead cross, which when the short-term SMA crosses below the long-term SMA, it is assumed as a bearish trend due to the dead cross. So the potential investor should not enter the market at this time, while the existing investor should sell their stock at the time of the dead cross. The second crossover, which happened in the middle of January 2019, is indicated as a golden cross, which when the short-term SMA crosses above the long-term SMA. Also, it is assumed as a bullish trend due to the golden cross. So the potential investor should enter the market at this time.
Technical indicator is a formula to the price data of a security. The price data include any combination of open, high, low or close over a period of time. There are a few types of indicator used to do a technical analysis, such as moving average conversion divergence, or also known as MACD, stochastic relative strength indicator or RSI, and Williams percentage R. MACD is one of the well-known indicator in technical analysis. It is signed to use the trend and momentum of a security. So, I will explain to you how to find buying or selling signal in the chart. As you can see the chart figure on your screen, we can find the buying signal if the MACD line crosses above the signal line, or if you use the MACD histogram, the line turns up below the zero line, so it indicates a buying signal. For the selling signal can be found in the chart when the MACD line crosses below the signal line, or when you use MACD histogram, the MACD histogram line is above the zero line, so it indicates the selling signal. Stochastic is a technical momentum that compares a security closing price to its price range over a given period of time. The oscillator range from 0 to 100. Based on the chart we have here, the buying signal can be found when the percentage K line is above from the percentage D line, and it is a oversold range. Investor can make decision to buy the stock when the percentage K line is below 20%. So next is how do you find the selling signal? So selling signal can be found in the chart when the percentage K line is below the percentage D line, or it also known as overbought range. So investor can make decision to sell the signal when they see on the chart the percentage K lines above 80%. Relative strength indicator, or also known as RSI. RSI is a momentum technical indicator that measures the speed and change of price momentum of stock. This indicator helps investor to indicate whether the security has been buying or selling pressure over the trading period. RSI indicator indicates the buying signal when the RSI line is below 30 and then move up and cross over the oversold line. Besides, RSI indicator indicates the selling signal when the line is over 70 and then move down and make a crossover to the overbought line. So, in this indicator, I will recommend it to the investor to hold their decision from buying and selling the stock because the market is hard to enter. William percentage R compare a stock close to the higher low range of certain period of time. So the oscillator from 0 to negative 100. When the William percentage R is below the oversold line, which is negative 80, and then rise to the crossover negative 80 line, it is a buying signal. And how can we find the selling signal? Is when the William percentage R is which is negative 20 and then falls below the negative 20 line. So I will recommend it to the existing investor to sell their stock to the market, and for the potential investor, I will recommend it to you to hold the decision to enter the market because due to the fact that the indicator has crossed over the oversold line.
Finally, we are going to the conclusion. So for MACD, the value is negative 0.079, which is a hold. For it is very recommended to investors to hold their decision to buy or sell because there are no crossovers or signal line. For the stochastic, it is 22.8%, which is a buying signal for investors. So it is very recommended for investors to buy the stock. And then for RSI, it is 16.3%, which is also a buying signal, so it is very recommended for investors to buy. For William R, it is negative 77.7. It is a hold signal for investors. So that is all.